MSSP Alert Live 2025. What a great event. What a great event. We were just outside of DC in Maryland at the MGM. Beautiful casino, restaurants. I've ever been to an MSSP Alert event conference. It was great. The staff unbelievably accommodating, friendly, and just want to promote technology, the platform, the camaraderie, the networking. The vendors were great. They gave me a speaking session. I had a book signing. It was just a tremendous event. I had 10 great interviews. Raffaele Mautone, of course, really like talking to Raffaele. He was our first one inside the next era of MSP security and growth. Great conversation, great meeting Raffaele. Next was Will, Alfredo Santiago. First time meeting Will. He's at one of my favorite companies, Black Point Cyber. And first time getting to know Will. Great insight on the military. The name of the episode is Cracking Codes and Catching Threats, a Cyber Warrior's Journey. Really interesting background. I look forward to getting to know him more and hanging out with him socially. Sharon Florentine from Cyber Risk Alliance. Really great conversation. She has an editing background. We talk about editing, AI, and the changing language of business. Really great insight from Sharon, I think, for her time. And then there was two women that I interviewed from a Woman in Cyber. It's an organization, incredible organization that obviously by the name helps women get into cybersecurity. The first one was Brianna Steele, Opening Doors, the Future of Women in Cybersecurity. Great conversation with Brianna. The next one was Chichi Uba, Curiosity, Courage, and Cyber, a journey of constant learning. Great conversations with those two women from that great organization. Valerie Cofield, Val, great discussion with Val, inside critical infrastructure and the future of cyber warfare. What an impressive background, FBI and the government, being child of immigrants. Just a great conversation with Val. Really enjoyed it. Tony Petricola, first one I did on Wednesday. Great conversation with Tony. I feel like we're related. He started by our last names. He was stomping on grape as a youngster with his Italian parents. And of course, he likes wine, but right into cyber and what he does there. Inside critical infrastructure and the future of cyber warfare. Great conversation with Tony. Caroline Wong. Oh, I really enjoyed talking to Caroline. Jiu-Jitsu, AI, and cyber. Surprisingly human conversation. Great insight. Just really open with Caroline and can't wait to see the new things that she's going to do and really excited for the opportunity to talk to her. What a great event this was, and I look forward to doing more work with them in the future and having more great conversations. Thanks for watching and listening. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. Before you know it, I found myself 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. Took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People think there's some secret. Ask me, how'd you lose that weight? Like there's some secret. There is no secret. How'd I lose the weight? Just one word, discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends, colleagues convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission? How do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision, growth through learning from others. So why physical books? Why you love the paper? Why the physical books versus digital?
I like the whole experience. I like going into a brick and mortar, whether it's a store or the library, and actually just the feel of the paper and turning the pages. It's just I don't know. It's just always been that way. With a kid, and I love even now I collect different bookmarkers and everything, and still use them. Yeah. So
are you an author?
No.
Is there one in you?
I don't know. Who knows? You never. I never say no to anything.
Yeah, you never can. Yeah. Just the whole process. So do you ever listen to books? Any audio?
No.
Really?
I can't do it. I get distracted, and I don't really. It's like you have to be sitting in a chair, and I just love reading. I love reading.
Yes.
It just has to be a book.
In this fast-paced MSP landscape, how do you stay ahead? Introducing MSPinfluencer.com, your ultimate hub for MSP news, insights, and community connections. connection powered by ForzaDash. More than 75,000 MSPs subscribe to our MSP Influencer Pulse weekly newsletter, staying informed and ahead of industry trends. Tune in to emerging podcasts from Joey Pinz and leading MSP voices, offering essential tips, powerful insights, and success stories. Explore our multi-authored blogs, crafted specifically for MSP leaders, delivering fresh perspectives and actionable strategies. Celebrate excellence with the industry-leading ForzaDash MSP Influencer Awards, recognizing innovation, leadership, and impact in the MSP community. Join thousands of MSP professionals who trust MSPinfluencer.com to grow their business and expand their networks. MSPinfluencer.com, where today's MSP leaders connect, collaborate, and conquer, all powered by the ForzaDash platform, helping MSP vendors work effectively with MSPs and helping MSPs grow. Fiction, nonfiction?
Oh, all of it.
Really?
Yeah, I love sci-fi, murder mysteries. Yeah. It's just right now my daughter got me onto a book, and it's about the end of the world, but it's about a guy and a cat that are defeating all these different aliens.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's fun.
It's becoming a lost art, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be almost like vinyl records at one point, right? It's
Yeah.
going to kind of be a resurgence. It's only going to be certain people doing it. And
Well, I think for you and I, everything comes back from that was supposedly from the past. I mean, everyone's going back to records.
That's right.
I still have my collection. Thank God, I didn't throw all of them away, and buying more records again. Everything's going on records.
Isn't the same thing?
I think the world was in this phase of quick and fast and easy. And yes, these little phones are amazing, but in the same breath, they take away a lot of things that we know, right? And I think with streaming, why do I have to pay for music and then pay for it again, right? If I decide to move or they lose the licensing, it's like, buy a record and it's mine,
it's yours,
right?
yeah.
And even the sound of it is different than streaming, and I think people enjoy that as well.
I was introduced, my mother's albums, right? Were the Beatles, the Beach Boys. So, I mean, I would take, put the vinyl on and go to a certain song and drop the needle. And sometimes I'd catch the back end of a previous song. And there's just a certain rhythm to that. It was wonderful. And I had to work a little bit to get to it.
Right.
And her punishment when I was bad was taking the vinyl away.
Yeah, exactly.
She knew it would kill me. But those are different times. And but we can still hang on to them, right?
Absolutely. I don't think you have to let go. I just think our the newer generations need to see how fun it can be. I mean, there's a lot of at least in our area, there's a lot of restaurants now that are opening with DJs in them with vinyl and
with
creating
vinyl.
a whole experience and food and drinks and everything. And you think about it, it's like, yeah, that's kind of fun. Like just to go sit there and be in a vibe and let someone else play the music for you, but see them with the vinyl and the
versus
covers.
a laptop.
And I have 2 daughters. I explained to them the whole experience of going to buy a record was just amazing, right?
Was.
You would stand in the mall, you'd have these big crates that you were fumbling through, but it was also the artwork.
Right.
And what was on the inside of those albums when they were pictures of the artist or the words so that you could actually see what was being, what the song was about. I just think that nothing really goes away. I just think we went through a period of let's digitalize everything. Now we're starting to realize that it's probably better to maybe do some other things.
What if discipline wasn't about punishment, but about unlocking your best self? I spent 2.5 years writing Discipline for Greatness because discipline changed my life. And I know it can change yours too. This isn't theory. Inside, you'll find real, practical steps you can use immediately to focus better, build stronger habits, reduce stress, accomplish your goals, and bring more balance to your life. Whether you're trying to get healthier, improve your career, or simply feel more control, this book gives you the framework. Start today. Grab your copy of Discipline for Greatness at joeypins.com/book. Thank you. Yeah, not cracked up. So I remember, I'll mention the Beatles again, like Sgt. Pepper's, opening it up. It was open. It was only a single album, but the words began there and ended there, and I just go through every song, reading the lyrics, write down these small little words to the different columns, and just the experience of that, and seeing those four, Liverpool gentlemen staring at me while I'm experiencing this. It was very different.
Now that technology's caught up, what's interesting is they can design the actual records. They're no longer black, right? Some still are, but I'm a Bon Jovi fan, and they actually came out with a collections edition of "Slippery When Wet" when it's actually water in the actual record. And I'm like, I want it. Of course, it keeps selling out every time, and I don't think I'm going to be able to ever afford it. But then you start to go, wow, this is like amazing how, even the technology has caught up to create the artwork on the actual record. It's...
Yeah, album artwork, that's all gone. I remember the band Yes. I keep on mentioning all these English. They're kind of a prog rock, but they had real, artistic design. Everybody had. It was just different.
Yes.
And that meant a lot. It's very, very different, and it added something to the experience versus just kind of finding a song and just listening to it. Right. And the actual album, the certain sequence the songs came in, there was a reason there. That's kind of gone too, right? There's really no albums anymore. They're just kind of singles.
Right. Plus, you had to listen to all the songs.
You had to listen to them, and
then you really got to experience what the artist was doing, right? So
and what they meant,
What they meant.
What's a Bernedoodle?
A Bernedoodle is a Bernese mountain dog and a poodle.
Whoa.
And there's this whole doodle world that has come out of over the last 5 years. But we have 2 Bernedoodles, and
so it's a medium-sized dog.
Medium-sized dogs. They hyperallergenic, which is great. They don't really shed. They are wicked smart, very stubborn, but just fun dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, never thought I would. Normally, always adopted dogs from shelters and everything.
Yes.
But during the beginning of the pandemic, one of our very close friends, she got a Bernedoodle, and she said, you should look at this breed. They're amazing. And so, we got 2 brothers.
Wow.
And they have been a joy for 4 years. So.
And when you travel, you're able to house them? I travel so much, Raffaele, and that's my biggest issue.
I don't travel a lot, it's fun in the fact that when I do, the kids, the other half take care of them, but they're spoiled rotten. Don't worry,
Is that right?
Yeah, the joke around the house is Jack and Luca can do no wrong. So,
that's
especially with me,
not your kids' names. Those are the dogs.
Yeah, those are the dogs' names. Yeah, the kids don't appreciate it when I say it, but the dogs do. Yeah.
Oh man, but it brings a certain level of just kind of affection, right? Camaraderie.
Yeah, I love dogs. I love pets in general.
Yeah,
I think
me
it
too.
helps, but. With the world day to day.
Yeah, the dog's always gonna love you. Yeah. So we're here at MSSP Alert live. We're in near DC anyway, in Maryland. What are some of your goals this week?
To meet new partners, as well as share stories of how our partners are succeeding in the marketplace. I think, what's interesting is no one. The past 7 years, no one really knows what to do with Judy, in the sense of we don't fit in a category or a box, which I enjoy. I'm always one of those ones that likes to go in a different direction, always have and always will. So, really to share the success we're seeing for our partners. I think that, I've been in cybersecurity for 25 years.
Wow.
I've seen everything you could possibly imagine when it comes to the direct model as well as the channel model. And with the channel, there's a level of trust that customers have with partners that they're not going to have direct with the actual software vendor, in my opinion.
Yes.
And usually it's always the small to medium-sized companies that want to work with someone local. And that's where those MSPs and MSSPs come in, right? And so I think we've been horrible as an industry to doing what customers want in general. We always build a point product. We always build a marketing campaign and approach that aligns to the enterprise. And there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just be clear. The enterprise space is different than when you're dealing with small to medium-sized businesses and how partners interact with them. So I was just talking to a partner last week, and they've done a lot to change internally and really want to not have to do a lot of the things that these vendors that are providing the software are requesting them to do, right? It's almost as if the software provider is self-serving.
Wow.
And not really empowering the MSP to do what they need to do, right? The thing is, if you want to partner with one of these providers, you have to remove the software the customer's already purchased, probably, and then install the new software, right? And those days are over.
Right.
Customers don't want to keep redoing software in the same category, right? Identity access is identity access. EDR is EDR.
Yeah.
All these acronyms are boring, and you can see the owners of these companies glaze over and go, are we really talking about this again, right? So I think cybersecurity is always at the forefront, but many of these point products are now commodity. And customers don't want to keep talking about EDR, viruses, all these things. It's like, in the SaaS world, how have we not addressed this in a way that simplifies it for the customer and the partner? And so what we're explaining and what we're empowering partners with is go in with Judy's Blue Team. And Judy's Blue Team simplifies it for the partner and the customer in a way where we just ingest the logs of the products that they have, and they can now start working on their compliance framework.
Wow.
They get immediate protection from that partner, and the partner makes money. And that's what we're excited about and what we do every day with our partners and their customers.
So, Raffaele, I'm a former MSP, so I kind of have that lens. So how does Judy Security help MSPs?
Well, if we start with our partner program, we let them lead. What I mean by that is they don't have to pay for training. They don't have to pay for marketing. They don't have to do anything except for fundamentally sign a contract with us that they want to resell our partner. There's no minimums. And then as they start reaching each of the different levels of the VPA agreement, their discount threshold gets bigger. So we're incentivizing them to move their customers over, as well as go after new logos. And we even help with them going to get new logos.
Wow.
So, again, are you really going to be a partner-friendly organization and help them? Or are you going to just give them the software and wish them luck, right? And sometimes, don't get me wrong, we've had MSPs that have been doing it in a way that fundamentally is successful but could be painful. And to see them go from this evolution of not trusting us because we're another software vendor to fully trusting us and seeing 20 to 30% month over month growth, that's what excites us every day. Our company, from our board down, is 100% channel. We don't do any direct business, and we really try to simplify it. So if you look in three categories, the way we approach it with the partner program is simple. Then you talk about the operational piece, right? How do you simplify it for an MSP like you? Well, there's three things we've learned. It has to work with the RMM tool that they use. Yep. That's their operational, quick, easy way to manage their fleet of devices. It has to install quickly, and it can't be disruptive. So Judy installs within 30 seconds and lays down 7 point products within 30 seconds and allows for the partner to just keep moving forward when they need to. And then the last piece, which used to drive me crazy when I was at some of the bigger companies, you should be able to sit in front of your computer, press the button, and it provisions the licensing and everything for you real time. So you don't have to send a PO in and then we wait for the licensing agent to empower you and even trust you, right? Those are the little things that if you talk to partners and you look at how the other point products work, right? Why do I have to wait for a licensing agent? I'm your top tier partner,
right.
and the
Let's
customer wants it now, like the rest of the world. We were just talking about this, right?
Yes.
The world is now,
Right.
and yet we tell MSPs, oh, you got to send us a PO, and our licensing agent will get to you. in at the end of quarter, we all know, bigger customers, bigger partners, and the little partners are waiting, and their customers get frustrated, and that starts to create that rift, right? So in Judy's console, you provision real time. You're an adult. We trust you.
Wow.
You know that when you push that button, great, your invoice will come out in 30 days, and that's fine, right? If you made an error, we'll work with you, but fundamentally, we trust you. And then the last piece is a level of support that no one else is fundamentally doing, in the fact that, okay, fine, that's not our problem, but we still help you. Hey, this have you ever heard of this? Yeah, we have, actually, because we are monitoring with our 24/7 SOC team, and we want to empower you, right? And that's the other thing. I think with a lot of MDR services out there, you don't really listen to the partner, right? It's like, no, we emailed the customer, they got the alert. Okay, that's not helping.
Wow.
That's cutting the partner out of the equation. So many partners, we have them fill out a RACI. You tell us how you want to work with your customer. And in some customers, you might say, I want you to come to me every single time, light up my phone at 3 a.m. and wake me up, because this is my crown jewel account, right? Versus these other ones, just go ahead and resolve it and then let me know. So even there in our model, we follow the partner's lead on how to support their customer.
Sounds great.
That's the thread from the beginning of the go-to-market all the way to the SOC and the support, and our amazing customer success team is, well, you tell us, right? It's your customer, and we're here to empower you. And I think at first they don't believe us, right? Like, wait, is this really true? This is not how the industry works. But this is how the industry should work, right? And don't get me wrong, we all make errors, and we've made errors.
Sure.
But at least we're doing it through the lens of a partnership and wanting to empower you. And partners are in shock. They'll say, well, can we get Raffaele on the call? Sure, I'll jump on the call. If it's going to help you close business or resolve the issue, then let's do it, right? And so that's where you start to say, again, everyone's going in this direction, and they have been for 30 years, and for a barrage of reasons on technology, go-to-market, partnerships, operations, it doesn't work. And so why would Judy want to follow that same path? We don't. We're creating our own path, and it's working. We've been doing, we took the first 5 years to build the product. I remind everyone, we built 5 point products, which is the equivalent of 5 companies. So yeah, it took a little time. But in the last 2 years, we've been selling, and we've been learning and growing with our partners, and it's working. And, you've had Brian on the show. Brian's lens, Brian Stoner's lens, is the final piece of the puzzle, and he really does champion the partners. And that's what we needed to truly understand how MSSPs work and look through their lens. We see what's interesting is when, we started this 3 years ago, we would meet partners, and it was, that sounds interesting. Now it's, wait a minute, we don't believe this is what you're doing. Your program seems too good to be true, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my smallest customer and see what happens, right? Once that happens, we smile, because we know what's going to happen, right? They immediately see the volume of tickets drop drastically, allowing them to work with their other customers. They immediately see that the customer is happy, it's not intrusive, and they're making money. Let's be fair. I want them to make a lot of money, and I would love to see other companies say that. We want our partners to make money, and we want them to win more customers. And so whether a partner just spun up 6 months ago, we see them onboarding customers immediately, or partners that have been around for 5-10 years. Their customers start to see the immediate benefits of what Judy's bringing to the table through them.
I work with MSPs a lot. Like I said, I'm a former MSP. It's been pretty consistent last 5-6 years, Raffaele, what keeps them up at night. And it's these 3. One is security. If their clients get attacked, they've got to allocate resources. they're fixed price, so they're going to lose money. They're probably going to get fired. They may even get sued.
Right.
2 is human capital. How are they going to get more techs if their big techs leave? How are they going to replace them? Unemployment in our space with technicians is like 1% here in the States. Human capital is huge. And then last is just growth. They need to grow organically. Their friends are selling the MSPs. These PE firms have poured hundreds of millions of dollars into the environment, and their friends are selling their MSPs and getting nice cars. I need to be able to grow. How can Judy help?
Well, on the first one, we tackle cybersecurity with the
head on,
right? We all know, yes, there's going to be a potential incident. There's going to be a claim against their cybersecurity insurance. There's going to be something. I think what's wonderful is that they have a level of visibility that they've never seen before with Judy's OpenXDR. So we have integrated our different products and worked closely with Stellar Cyber and integrated all of our code and created this world of OpenXDR with them where, yes, they're going to have an incident, but we're looking at all of the products, not just one specific vertical, right? Oh, there was an incident in the firewall. Yeah, but what really happened to Joe's system, his Microsoft account, and where did that data go, right?
Wow.
And having that level of visibility allows us to overcome the concerns of whether or not there really was an incident or how far did it go? Did we resolve it? We can document it within milliseconds for the partner. The partner can go back to that customer and go, look, there was an issue with Joe's system, but we resolved it within an hour. And here's all the information you need for your cybersecurity insurance, right? And now that partner, again, is a hero versus, oh, I'll have to get back to you, which is not because of the partner. The partner's saying that to the customer because they already know the fragmented systems that they're using are probably going to take time to find the information, or worse yet, like we've seen with some of the EDR products, they had a watered down version that doesn't hold the logs, right? And now all of a sudden they're scrambling, right? So there's 2 different worlds just in that first category that you're talking about that keep partners up. But with our 24/7 SOC team, a lot of partners, maybe they do have 1 person or 2, like you said, going into the next area of, human capital. They now have us empowering them within 15 minutes of adding their first log, and we're 24/7. So you have this huge team empowering them. And again, they tell us how they want to work. We have some partners that say, like I told you, send a ticket, call my team, do whatever. Or they just simply say, look, we are an MSP. We do empower you with your IT and cybersecurity services, but Judy's team is the one that's going to contact you with us and help you if there's anything that goes wrong. And that's where partners really need the heavy lift and help to empower for cybersecurity. And, making money. Well, here's the thing. You can't walk into a new customer or an existing customer and expect them to spend more money on something that they've already owned. I'm not going to rip out my I was CIO at Duo.
That's right.
When people would come to me and go, oh, we can rip out your old SIM and bring in this new SIM, all I heard was lots of work, lots of time, probably going to have a cybersecurity incident because we're going to have a delay between the 2 systems. And you're asking me to go to my CFO for more money. Wall goes up, right? Versus what we tell our MSPs is walk in with Judy's OpenXDR and just explain to them and understand what is their problem that they're trying to solve. Don't sell the widgets. And that's where you see the conversation changing in the fact that most customers are looking at their compliance frameworks because the compliance framework is tied to their revenue, no matter how you slice it. Whether they're a hospital, it's tied to their grant dollars. Whether they're an enterprise customer, it's probably tied to another, a government agency, or they have to be SOC 2. We hear all these acronyms, HIPAA, CMMC, Essential 8 in Australia, right? That framework is what the entire company is worried about. So as a partner, if you walk in and go, what framework are you trying to map to? versus I got a widget I'm trying to sell you, the conversation changes,
Wow.
right? You move not only from that IT person that's struggling with their cybersecurity stack, but also you get to talk to the CFO. You get to talk to the CEO, the owner of the company, HR, legal, and go, look, you're trying to become HIPAA compliant. I, as your partner, can do this for you, not only with automation of compliance, but also with the right tool sets that you need, yes, for cybersecurity, right? It's a
Wow.
after you've gotten them excited, right? Not leading with the cybersecurity and trying to back them in to compliance. So with Judy's OpenXDR, we ingest any product. It doesn't matter who it is. Sentinel-1, Microsoft, Palo Alto, all of them. Everything that's in this room here today, we ingest it. And then we look at the customer and go, great. When you look at HIPAA, you're missing MFA. We need, you know what? You do need MFA. And you don't have to use Judy's if you don't want to. We can go get Duo. But yes, that is one cybersecurity tool set that the MSP should suggest to you. And by the way, here's your automated reports out of OpenXDR for HIPAA tied to all the controls. And it's emailed to you on a monthly basis from Judy. That's the game changer.
Wow.
Because now that IT person internally doesn't have to pull logs, doesn't have to pull manual reports that usually fail audit. Auditors don't like Excel sheets. They don't like manual reports. When they get the PDFs with everything tied to the control, customers pass audit even faster. And so that's where MSPs, when they lead with that messaging and that approach, they're seeing double-digit growth. We're seeing it with our partners. It's the game changer. I don't have to do a rip and replace. And Judy's blue team with OpenXDR comes in, ingests the logs. They get a huge security team to monitor, and now the partner is a hero. Now, don't get me wrong. We tell the partner, because again, we're all in sales, when the renewal's coming up for the EDR, try to get Judy in there. But if they don't, just say yes.
Right.
Don't be the friction that causes. If they really love that point product, just say yes. Let them renew it and move on to the next one, right? Because if we keep fighting them, no, you need to remove that EDR, right? You're going to lose as a partner, right? Versus just say yes and then ingest the logs and move on, right? There's going to be customers that don't have those different point products that you can sell to, but we keep trying to lead us with, I have to replace that product because I want to be a valued partner to that vendor, right? And that doesn't work anymore.
Right. Yeah, don't sell features, sell value.
Exactly.
Has there been anything in the last month or so, Raphael, that you changed your mind on?
That I've changed my mind on?
Anything?
Anything, huh? I think, you know what's interesting is, I think that the world in cybersecurity is hitting an inflection point that I don't think we've ever seen before, and I don't know if it's good or bad yet. How's that?
Because of AI, because of economy?
Because of AI, because of economy, because of the way the world is starting to become fragmented again. I think that we as leaders and software providers and even MSPs need to recognize the three don't go away anytime soon. So how do you work in that new world? We've never seen all three at once. We've seen financial markets dip 2008, 2010. Sure. We all were there. We all know what happened. Yeah. We were in cybersecurity. Luckily, cybersecurity wasn't cut. It was usually a lot of other things. But we never had AI at the forefront. And I think that goes in, again, we're about the same age.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the .com. It's spinning up so fast. Everything's AI, right? When we were in .com, it was like all these .coms started popping up, and then all of a sudden you started getting to the end, and it's like pet.com, house.com, car.com, and you're like, ridiculous. How many more .coms can we possibly do before this just goes pop? And it did, right? It did. So I think AI is going all over the place, and there's no standard. So I think for customers, they're going, it's useful, but how do I use it, right? And I think that, that's where MSPs can help. And then, this fragmented world that we're starting to see, I think it's going to be a little problematic to be global. I really do. I think there's going to be some harder lines on how things are done by MSPs or even customers. whereas where their data goes, who's accessing their data. And we've always had that to a degree, but not to this level of scrutiny that we're starting to see in some of the contracts that partners are getting. And so that's what's changed. But I think the biggest of the three is the AI. And I think the only thing partners can do is, and security professionals, is to educate the customer. Look, do you know where your data is going when you go into AI? Because what you don't want to do is put your bank account info in there. You don't want to, right? You don't want to put your network information in there. You don't want to talk about what type of devices or your structure of your organization, because you don't know where it's going on the dark web, right? And how it's being reused by someone else that asks that AI the same question, right? So, but I think, customers are also having AI pushed to them so fast without their approval. I mean, Google did it.
Sure did.
Microsoft did it, right? It's just on, and all of a sudden your team's using it, and you're like, what is going on? And you now have to unsubscribe. It's that whole model of, well, we turned it on. You go unsubscribe, and if I think where partners can go in and go, look, we know these products you already own. Do you want the AI on? Do you want the AI on in your CRM? Do you want the AI on in your email system, right? Our guidance would be no, because we still feel that it's, evolving with the controls that need to be in place. But that's where you kind of, again, as a partner, could add huge value, right? And build that relationship with them, understanding their products and where AI is turned on. And really, again, start leading into the value of, wow, I really like this partner. They're not just trying to sell us something, right? But that's the thing. It's hard to explain because we were just talking about this last night at dinner. It's like the cybersecurity world doesn't feel right now. And I don't know what it is yet. But it's just, there's this there's this hair on the back of my neck that's going,
really?
What is this, right? We've never seen this before. I don't think it's like the sky's falling or, it's just new, which can be exciting, or it could be disruptive for a moment until we all recognize it and standardize what we need to do to fulfill it.
Want to show your love for discipline, inspiration, and the Joey Pinz podcast? Now's your chance. Introducing the brand new Joey Pinz merch store, where style meets discipline. Choose from premium apparel, cozy hoodies, stylish hats, durable bags, and your new favorite coffee mug, all featuring the iconic Joey Pinz logo. Perfect for podcast fans, discipline enthusiasts, or as unique gifts for friends and family. Every purchase supports the Joey Pinz Disciple Conversations podcast, helping us continue to inspire greatness and promote positive change. Visit joeypinz.com/store today and wear your discipline proudly. Joey Pinz merch. Wear it, share it, and live it. Started my MSP back in the 90s, Raffaele, and I was working way too hard, 14, 16-hour days. You're no stranger to this. And it's in my 20s, so I was putting my health in the back seat. Next thing I know, I'm in front of the doctor. She tells me I'm at 340 pounds. So I had gained all this terrible weight. She says to me, if you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate. My daughter was just born. Scared the life out of me. Spent the next 6-7 months, lost about 130 pounds, kept it off. You can't look at these things like finishing lines, right? These lifelong changes. People ask me, how'd you do it? What's your secret? I say just discipline, right? Motivation, routine, focus. How does discipline play a role in your life?
Well, I think, everyone wakes up in the morning in certain days and go, do I have to wake up today?
Right.
I think discipline is critical in any role that you're in. I think, I've learned, again, if you just sometimes put your head down and focus and I don't even know, I've almost said my phrase, which is an inappropriate word, get shit done.
Yeah.
I love getting shit done.
Yeah.
You talk about my books, I'll talk about my notebook. I have a notebook.
Whoa.
I write my thing out, I put a little box next to it, and until that little check box gets checked, I'm not done, and I don't move on to the next thing, right? But by the end of the day, when I've looked at my notebook and I've maybe had 20 things I had to get done, and even 15 of them have the checkbox, that's a win,
right?
And so I think discipline has many shapes or form. And yes, part of it is health. I think we're all in this millisecond industry that we have to make sure we stay healthy. You have to surround yourself with people that you love to work with. And I love that. I have always been lucky to even be in some very, I'll just use the word chaotic industries, since everyone's going to look at my background. But I always loved working with who I worked with, at least in the teams that I built. And that made it fun, right? And you kind of have to have fun sometimes.
Yes, you do.
Right? And then do the little things. I love walking with my Bernedoodles.
Right.
I love playing around, in the yard with them. I love hanging out with my daughters and seeing the world through their lens. They've, introduced me to so many new things that I never thought I would love anime. I had no idea what anime is. We're in that realm right now with my 13-year-old. So, and then my my younger daughter last summer, it's funny what they hear at school. She's like, "Dad, I need a labubu." And I'm like, "What is a labubu?" And I started panicking. And she's like, "You don't understand. It's like the thing." And, immediately in my head, I envisioned my parents at Kmart fighting, everyone for Cabbage Patch dolls. For my sister. And I thought, oh my God, I better get online and find out what a labubu is and place the order now. But I think no matter what role we're in, no matter how our companies are structured, those are the things that we have to focus on and it keeps going. And what's interesting is when you do that, your team feels that, and when your team feels that glow goes to the partners and even to the customers. Our customers and partners that we interact with, both of them are like, we love working with Judy's team. Doesn't mean we always get it right.
Right.
Doesn't mean we don't mess up. But they love working with our team, and our team's amazing. And I every day wake up and go, we have an awesome team. So today, Raffaele, you may not want to get in the game, but time to get in the game. Have another cup of coffee and get in there.
Raffaele, great pleasure talking with you today. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great show.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Disciple Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypinz.com. There you'll find lots of resources and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Disciple Conversations.